I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 1,000 stood before him. Judgment was set, and the books were opened.
Isaiah 11. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Lord, and shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the Lord. And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and faithfulness the girdle of his reins. The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf, and the young lion, and the fatling together, and the little child shall lead them, and the cow and the bear shall feed. Their young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox, and the sucking child shall play on the hole of the asp, and the weaned child shall put his hand on the cockatrice's den. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, for the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea.
All right, Tyler, you got it, bro.
All right. All right. First and foremost, let me give our praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Wakakodash, a double unto Apostle Edison GMS. Citation to your brother, push your word of truth, and sincere four corners with GMS Mississippi Camp. You go ahead, brother.
All right. So what we're gonna get into this week? Oh, y'all good on that end? The feedback something. Okay, I think we good now. All right. So yeah, what we're gonna get into this week, is Rome will fall again, and soon, because we're living, in the times, all right, where the Lord is getting ready to judge Esau, Edom. Okay. And what you have to understand, all right, is what Esau, Edom has done. He has revived, all right, the pagan Roman Empire back into the earth. Okay. That's why you look at the world, it's dominated, by the influence of pagan Rome, from the sports, to the shopping strips, to the fast food, okay, to the social media culture. All these things are linked back, to ancient Rome. Okay, and this is what the devil has revived in the earth. And the beautiful thing about it, the Lord promised that he would throw it down again, in which we're going to get into these things. So we're going to start here in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, and verse 8, verse 9. So, like, I'm going to pull it up. Pull it up for you. All right, you got it, bro.
Come this book Ecclesiastes chapter 1. You said straight at 9 or 8.
8, yeah. Reading the NLT Bible. So.
Come, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 8 in the NLT. It says, everything is worrisome beyond the description.
Oh, starting 9. Yeah.
Starting now. Okay,
yeah.
come. This is verse 9. History merely repeats itself. It has all been done before.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing under the sun is truly new.
Yeah, so nothing that we see, is new. Whether it's people, or empires. And empires are made of what? People. That's why you have the same characters that are back today, dealing like with Donald Trump, which is Nero, okay, back in the flesh, man. You see, so there's no new thing under the sun. That's why there's a lot of spirits of old that are here today to be judged. And on the right hand side, you have the prophets and the elect, the hopeful elect, here to be rewarded. Okay, and the Lord had it set up to where before the kingdom of Israel will be set up forever. All right, Esau, Edom would revive New Rome in the earth. Okay, so let's get this clip. Y'all brothers had y'all had something else?
Or read the NLT.
Okay, you got it, bro.
This is in the NLT. It says, what exists now is what will be, and what has been done is what will be done. There is nothing truly new on the earth.
Yeah, so we're seeing, things repeat itself. Even this whole concept of a new world order, this is nothing new. This goes back to the Tower of Babel, going back to the time of Nimrod. Okay. So none of these things that we're seeing, okay, are new. This motherfucker gets smaller and smaller, man.
Let me see what it look like on the
I know it's probably good. Y'all brothers had anything before we went into the video? So we're just
showing good on the
and good on
them. I have to keep reading from it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy.
And then Esau.
Yeah. So let's go here. All right. So this is a quick video, and it's about 8 minutes, and it's going to is America dying like Rome did. All right, American Empire versus Roman Empire.
Caligula. In ancient Rome, the wealthy class was hated and despised by the poor, and who could blame them? When you consider the actions of the depraved Emperor Caligula, or the cruelty of Emperor Nero. But did you know that the prosperity gap between the wealthy and the poor in America today is twice as large as it was during the times of ancient Rome? Does this mean the American Empire is headed for a total collapse like the Roman Empire did? Stay tuned. This is Mind Guild. Caused the Roman Empire to collapse. To begin with, the structure of the American government is based largely on the Roman Republic. Secondly, there are countless parallels between the two societies. We are going to specifically examine 8 major factors that should serve as a wake-up call for all Americans. Factor 1, cheap foreign labor. During its peak, the Roman economy met labor demands by utilizing foreign slaves. This increased profits, but it also took jobs from Roman citizens, making them more dependent on the government. Worse yet, as the slaves became liberated, they demanded a fair wage, and this had a devastating effect on the Roman economy. American businesses have been utilizing cheap foreign labor for decades. In fact, it is estimated that over 90% of all American apparel is made by foreign workers. What's going to happen when these workers also begin demanding a fair wage? Factor number 2, people are controlled by debt. When Rome was sacked by the Gauls in the north, they were forced to pump a fortune into the military budget. Taxes went up, and the poor became bankrupt. Romans found themselves quickly overwhelmed with debt, and they begged the government for debt forgiveness. Leaders like Julius Caesar promised the people free bread and entertainment. This was so popular with the masses that they were willing to give up their right to vote as the Republic became an empire. today. Most Americans carry a lot of debt, which often begins with a hefty student loan. And we've all seen the political movements today which seek to provide the people with free education and health care. And some of these movements even promise to forgive current student debts. What will the people have to give up to receive these proposed benefits? Factor number 3, printing money doesn't save economies. As the Roman Empire grew, expenses and greed got higher. The Emperor Nero began to use less silver and Roman coins so that he could print even more money. This idea ruined the Roman economy over time because future emperors did the exact same thing. And over time, inflation went wild and Roman coins became worthless. Today, many experts claim that the United States is doing the exact same thing by selling too many treasury bonds, particularly to the Chinese. This is increasing in national debt, which will crush the American economy eventually, unless something is done soon. Factor number 4, underestimating the barbarians. If there is one major irony regarding the mighty Roman Empire, it's the way they underestimated smaller barbarian armies. While they easily defeated advanced societies, they often got crushed by the barbarians. Attila the Hun is one of the biggest examples of this. America today appears to suffer from the same irony, as evidenced by the falling twin towers of 9/11. Instead of learning from the Romans, the U.S. has allowed several smaller, dangerous terrorist organizations to grow and form globally. America's leaders have repeatedly underestimated this threat, and because of this lackadaisical attitude, these dangerous elements are establishing themselves well within the borders of America herself. Competitive empires from the East. During the reign of the Roman Empire, there was another powerful nation called Parthia. Early on, these two nations realized that neither could destroy the other, so they decided to sign a peace treaty and become trade partners. The two countries didn't trust or like each other, and they tried to beat each other in every deal. As lucrative markets opened up from the east, diplomats from eastern countries weren't allowed to pass through Parthia to deal with the Romans. As a result, Rome was denied potential economic and military allies. This arrangement between Rome and Parthia should sound very familiar because it is almost the exact arrangement that America has with China today. Both nations are strong and competitive, and yet China controls many of America's relationships from eastern countries like North Korea and Taiwan. Factor number 6, don't train barbarians in advanced warfare. While Attila and the Huns didn't invade Rome, the Visigoths did, and for good reason. The barbaric Visigoths had been trained by the Romans and were well versed in Roman tactics. The Roman army was powerless in trying to stop this barbaric horde. Years earlier, Rome began hiring Visigoths and Gauls to fill up their legions. This was a decision they would later regret. America has made the same mistake in the Middle East, as they have trained countless Islamic soldiers. Among those trained were the Taliban and Osama bin Laden himself. Factor number 7, big military budgets bankrupt big countries. Rome learned that being a world superpower means that you become a very big target. You are forced to defend your empire, and the costs are enormous. They had no choice but to increase taxation. This led to poverty and high unemployment. In the later stages of the Roman Empire, there were lots of riots and unrest. Today, America spends roughly $600 billion annually for its military. To put this in perspective, this is equal to almost a third of the entire world's military budget. One can only ask, how long can the U.S. keep meeting this demand? Factor number 8, a sharp decline in patriotism. Patriotism was very high in Rome initially. There was a strong sense of purpose, and everything was done for the glory of Rome. There was a strong community, and everything was done for the common good. Over time, This patriotism diminished as Roman citizens became more self-centered and the government became less supportive. A natural divide was created as the elite became more greedy as the poor had less wealth. Eventually, the trust broke down between the populace and the government. In recent years, patriotism has declined sharply in the United States as well. We are seeing the same divides today that occurred in the later stages of the Roman Empire. Some are objecting to others who want to fly the American flag on their own properties. Others are requesting that the time-honored traditions like singing the national anthem be abolished. Still others do not wish for students to learn the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. We are also seeing how Americans today have lost trust in the government, as law and authority are being ignored more and more each day. These are obvious signs of patriotism dying in America, just like it did in ancient Rome. Please let us know what you think.
Yeah, so what you see is the same thing, you know, and the main two, dealing with, the money being devalued, okay, which is the American dollar, has lost so much, spending power, the last, 60 years, and then you have America, through the CIA, through special forces, they train so many, military groups, throughout the world, to use as proxies against these other nations. Well, now you have all the world, trained in warfare, and they know how the Americans fight. And that's why America is not as successful as it used to be, because everybody know America tactics, man, and everybody has built their military just to fight against, okay, the war machine of America, man, you know. So all those similarities, 1 through 8, then the loss of patriotism. People ain't feeling so American these days. That's why you see all those compilation videos of people leaving America, complaining about America, saying F America, and this American dream is a nightmare. So patriotism, is at an all-time low. Okay, so we're seeing all the symptoms of a fallen empire, in a real time today. Any brother had any precept?
Yeah, I got some, bro.
What you guys are calling?
Ecclesiastes 7 and 8.
Ecclesiastes 7 and 8.
Yeah.
Or the NLT or KJV?
KJV, fine.
Okay. Let me pull it up. Pull it back. You got it, bro.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 8, KJV. It says, "Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit."
I can't. It says, "Better is the end of the thing." And Esau kingdom. It's almost done, man. And guess what? And everybody can't wait to see this fucking place fall, man. It's at the last peak, man. All right, like brother said, don't nobody want to come over here. Everybody trying to leave this place. It's not cause people always say that what you call it, like the American dream. Hey, the American dream is gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's done. All right. People still gonna be working to turn 60, 70 years old, 80 years old, man. Because you can't fucking live off of one job. You can't do that. Everybody's struggling. But them married dream is full of shit, man. And the people that died and made, yeah, they all right. But most of us, we can't afford miss work. We miss work, oh damn, you're done. So that American dream is gone. This place is falling, and if you don't see it, something wrong with you. All right. But the better is this place going down. It's gonna be great for everybody, man. All right. But that's all I got, brothers.
Come, bro. And any other brother got a precept, and then the brother finna get some real quick. But any brother got a precept, I go ahead and pull it up.
I had one, bro. If I can get
What you
Daniel,
got,
the second chapter, verses
come.
start at verse 9 and read down to 21, and then after that, I guess if we could just skip down to Salaki.
You said Daniel chapter 2.
Con. Verses 19 down to 21.
What verse, bro?
19 down to verse 21.
19 and 21.
Con.
Okay.
Con.
All right. So before we get this real quick.
I gotta go ChatGPT. If Google won't give me nothing.
Yeah. So the brother just to bag up you on Saquon, what you were saying about America falling off, and then we're gonna get that in Daniel. But you were talking about the American dream, so the brother had pulled it up going into it. And he asked ChatGPT, well, is the American dream still real? You know.
I'm reading the summary of the first part. It says that's a big and important question. It says there is no simple yes or no answer. The idea of the American dream is alive, but whether it is real or accessible as people once believed is deeply in flux.
Mm-hmm.
And the word flux goes into in the action or process of flowing or flowing out.
Mm-hmm. It's flowing out, you know. So that anticipation or the expectation that people had, you know, of going to college, getting a degree, getting a high paying job, getting a family, going on vacation, saving money, retiring, owning a house, and restaurants, 3-4 times a week, and just kicking it like the barbecue grill and the white fence, it ain't so attainable anymore, So you some more on that.
I got this one. It says, what is an example of the American dream today? It says today, home ownership is the only frequently cited example of attaining the American dream.
Damn.
And they killing the interest rates on it.
Yeah, now you can't buy no house. The housing market is unaffordable, but it just shows you, that these all symptoms, played a part in the fall of Rome, and they playing a part in this new Rome, But you want to start at 19 to 21, bro?
Con. And then after that, skip down to 31 down to 33.
Okay, come. We got it, bro.
Con, this is Daniel chapter 2, starting at verse 19. It says, then was the secret revealed unto Daniel in a night vision. Then Daniel blessed the power of heaven. Daniel answered and said, blessed be the name of the Most High forever. It was Yahweh. It says, and ever, for wisdom and might are his. And he changeth the times and the seasons. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding.
Con. And see, that's the whole point of right there, that he set up kings and removed kings. Because this was during the rule of Nebuchadnezzar during the Neo-Babylonian Empire, man. And he was disturbed by a dream that he had, So he got his wise men to want them to break down the dreams, but they couldn't break it down. They wanted him to give them the rundown of the dream so they can interpret it. But that ain't what he wanted, man. So long story short, Daniel was sent for, and the Lord revealed the dream unto Daniel. All right, bro, you skip down to verse 31 down to 33.
Verse 31. It says, O Slakia, thou, O king, sawest, and behold a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. The image's head was of fine gold, the breast and his arms of silver, his belly and thighs of brass, his legs of iron, and his feet part clay, so like a part iron and part of clay.
Gone. So that gold head is the Babylonian Empire, what is represented, right? And then the silver of the arms with the Medo-Persian Empire, right? And the brass with the Grecian Empire, the iron with the Roman Empire, and Rome had the strongest army, right? That's why it goes into that what's it like teeth, like iron teeth, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the iron and clay, which is a representation of today of this being the revised Roman Empire, you know, but it's clay because it has that weakening, because you're gonna have the left and the right turned against each other, and the society is going to be broken down because, you know, everybody wants to be the next high power in that top position, man. So much division that America is going to become a weaker vessel, if you will, and it's not going to continue to be that thriving, strong society like Rome was in general, you know. And we're at that point now where we're witnessing this revised Roman Empire on its way down, going back into how the Lord set it up kings and bring down kings, man. So being this the new revised Roman Empire, just as the Lord set up the Assyrian, the Babylonians, Medo-Persians, the Grecians, and that particular solid Roman Empire, and now we're seeing as though other kingdoms flourished at one point and the Lord took them down. Now we're witnessing the foot of these particular empires that Daniel had a dream about coming to fruition, man. We're seeing prophecy be fulfilled by this revised Roman empire being destroyed, man.
Colin, and then that part of iron and part of clay, you know, dealing with, you know, the America, EU, and NATO, which, you know, you have some EU nations that will be stronger, you know, and some weaker, you know, and, you know, those weaker nations, you know, are a liability, you know, to the whole empire. So you have some of these EU nations, you know, that have decent economy, all right, a little more high power military, and some, you know, are extremely weak, you know. So all together, you know, it's what they call a paper tiger. You know, it's becoming to be the EU is becoming to be what you call a paper tiger. You know, it looks strong on the outside, but, you know, you put any pressure on it, it's gonna fold. And we finna see, you know, Russia, you know, test their chin. All right, the way things going with Poland, yeah. And you might can ask ChatGPT, is EU a paper tiger? You know, but you want to keep going on there, bro?
No, that's all I had on it, brother.
Hey, it's a lot, bro. Y'all fixed the situation with the brother that called me about there's the EU with the
what happened?
The priest called me trying to fix the situation to make the EU, you know, what you call it, that clay,
The iron clay. Yeah, that was just talking about.
I come. That's it. All right, cool. All right,
the water, bro.
No problem.
Yeah, that was, yeah. That what we had just talked about.
All right, cool. All right, my bad, bro. I just had a phone call.
Nah.
All right.
No, it's good, bro. But yeah, they partly iron and partly clay. You know, it's dealing with, like I say, the strong EU nation and the weaker EU nations. You know, and it just creates, you know, a weakness throughout the whole system, because you have you know, especially a nation like America, British, the French, and Germany, they pretty much been carrying the weight of the EU. You know, those other nations been pretty much riding the coattails. You know, and like I say, it's gonna get exposed, especially as Russia, you know, begins to invade and get closer to Europe. You know, because right now they've Poland has issued an Article 4 of the NATO treaty, which Article 4 means that the EU nations have to sit down and speak about having war councils about what to do with Russia advancing. Okay, but it's really nothing they can do because the NATO itself doesn't have any power without America backing. So now we're going to see the clay, okay, of the 10 toes be exposed as Russia gets ready to invade, Europe, you know. You had some Yum Yacht.
Like what you open up with, you Baba Shah, give me Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. Get it in the NLT, Baba Shah.
Yeah, you got some wind, don't the headphone picking up that fan, bro.
Clear?
Yeah, we good now, bro.
Yeah, come, bro. Like I said, what you open up with, get the Ecclesiastes 3 and 15, Baba Shah, in the NLT.
Come. Oh, get the NLT. Oh, you got it, bro.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 15. What is happening now has happened before, and what will happen in the future has happened before, because the Most High makes the same things happen over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Did you look that up with the paper time?
Yeah, just like Rome fell, in the middle of it, because Rome didn't fall overnight. So it was a buildup, just as it is right here in this new, this revised Rome. How I was going into how these elites they basically they tax the poor, the farmers, to build a military, just as here in America, they was taxing they were taxing the farmers, having certain farmers leader farms, and sending hella money over to Ukraine, Ukraine war, and with Russia, and to them small hats, just as back then, and again the division of the people. So we see in the same thing, and Rome also exalted itself like an eagle as well. Being that power, that powerhouse at this time, just as America's the hammer of the earth. But back then, the same way Rome fell, America fell off.
Yes, I just get. Yeah. Come on, bro. And real quick, the brother got some dealing with EU being a paper tiger, going to that partly strong, partly iron and partly clay, but you got it, bro. You can read and say, what is a paper tiger?
It says verdict. Is it a paper tiger today going into the EU? A paper tiger would imply that most of the EU's power is symbolic without real effectiveness.
Yep.
It says that's not quite right.
Go ahead.
It says in many arenas, economically, regulation, and diplomacy, it does have teeth and uses them. But when it comes to projecting military hard power without depending on others, especially NATO and the US, is weaker than many expect or hope.
Yeah, so most of that iron, the 10 toes is dealing with EU and NATO. I mean, with America and NATO. But most of those EU nations, they don't have the ability to project a lot of military power. They have to depend on the US, and NATO, to make moves militarily. So a lot of those EU nations, their power is symbolic more than actual hard power to be able to project, throughout the earth. So that's why America, is the centerpiece of this Roman Empire. That's why she's a whore that rideth the beast, you know. But just to expound on, you know, that part iron and part of the clay, you know. Anybody else had something before we got a couple? You had something?
I had Revelation 13. They're going into
Revelation 13.
Yeah, I don't think that would have been on it though. Going into how the daily wound was healed, and then after that going into Obadiah 1 and 4.
Come. Okay. Said 13
and 3.
3. Okay, come go ahead.
This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 3. It says, "And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death."
Yeah, and one of those heads, because you go into that, you know, that 7-headed dragon. Okay, well, one of the heads, you know, was the Roman Empire. You know, because you had the Greeks. All right, you had the French, you had the Spanish, you had Germania Major, Germania Minor. Okay, you had Rome and Britain. Okay, and Rome, all right, his head was wounded. Okay, during what they call, you know, the Dark Ages. You know, even before then, you know, Rome, all right, had started to fall to Jake. You know, even going into the time of Nerval. You know, and by the time of Constantine, okay, who they call Constantine the Great, you know, the Western Roman Empire, you know, was more symbolic, you know, than the empire, and eventually the barbarians, you know, took them down, you know, and only thing was left was the Eastern Roman Empire, which became the Byzantine Empire. That's when Jake, you know, was fully in control, okay, and Esau, all right, pagan, you know, Edom, Rome, okay, was wounded, okay. So go ahead.
It says, "And his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast."
Yeah, so the deadly wound was healed during the Renaissance. Okay, this is what these devils have rebuilt back in the earth, you know, since they came back into power, all right, during the Renaissance, all right, when they was able to, you know, because it was loose, okay, for a season, all right, that little season, and we're in that little season now, you know, and within that little season, what have they done? You know, they rebirth, okay, Rome into the earth, you see, and now they want to go digital with Rome, you see. Yeah, something else. You know, brother has something.
Since you said that, drop that Obadiah and this Malachi 1 and 4.
Malachi 1 and 4. And I get in the NLT. All right, this is the book of Malachi, chapter 1 and verse 4. It says, Esau's descendants in Edom may say, this is the NLT, we have been shattered, but we will rebuild the ruins. And this is, all right, linking, you know, to Revelation 13 and 3 of their deadly wound, okay? Because it was like, you know, it wasn't no coming back for pagan Rome, okay? So Esau was ruined, you know, because pagan Rome, you know, under Edom represents the peak of Esau's influence and power and military and wealth in the earth. Okay, so that Rome is like this nigga prime. Okay, so as soon as he got back right, what did he do? He wanted to go back to his golden age, which was Rome. You know, the Greco-Roman era. That was Esau's golden age, man. Okay, you can say something.
Because what everybody trying to get back to now? They want to get back to, you know, the early 2000s. You know, they want to get back to what they feel like was that golden time where everything was good. You know, just backing up what you're saying.
Yeah, because you got people, you know, they want to get back to their prime in Rome, you know, which, like you say, in this era, you know, will be those early 2000s, you know, 90, you know, late 90s. But now, you know, this devil, you know, he wants to stay, okay, in his prime, you know, as a kingdom, okay, which is to forward Rome. Now he wants to forward it digitally, man. And that's when Yahweh Shah comes, all right, and smashes these 10 toes, man. Okay. You finished that? Yeah, you finished that.
It says, but the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah of heaven's armies replies, they may try to rebuild, but I will demolish them again.
I will demolish them again. Okay, so this is going to be the second time that the Lord takes down Edom, Rome. Okay, so this time it's for good. He's gonna cut the head off the snake. Okay, go ahead. Or the head. Or this time it's a dragon. He's gonna cut the head off the dragon. Ain't gonna be just no wound where you can recover. No, he's gonna cut the head off the dragon with this judgment. Go ahead.
Cause you said I read this part again. It says, I will demolish them again. Their country will be known as the land of wickedness, and their people will be called the people whom the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, is forever angry.
Yeah, so here it is. These devils, okay, wherever they set up shop, okay, is the land of wickedness, man. And that's why you have, great rebellion in the earth, because these devils have colonized the earth, man. And, these European Edomites, other times want to always get into it, whether you're the French, whether you're colonized by the French, the Spanish, the Portugal, okay, the Portuguese, okay, the British, the Americans, okay, guess what? You're still being colonized by Esau Edom, okay, which the Lord said this man was going to be known wherever he, presides as the land of wickedness, man. And we know America, okay, which is the new Rome, okay, to be what? The source of wickedness in the earth. You see? And the other brother had some. Oh, I see, brother got one.
Yeah, I got some too.
What you got, bro?
Ecclesiastes 5:25 and 7.
Ecclesiastes.
Oh, Ecclesiastic is okay. Sirach.
Yeah, Sirach.
Yeah, I got you, bro.
In the 1611 on the regular.
Go to the KJV. So we living, and it's gonna happen, in our lifetime. There's no doubt, that we in that time, because it's too much tension, man. All the technology, needed, okay, for prophecy to happen is here. These wars and rumors of wars, which are the beginning of sorrow. It's too much happening in real time, dealing with these last few prophecies for this not to be that time,
16 and 7.
Yeah.
16 and 7.
25 and 7.
25 and 7.
Yeah.
I got you. Now, this is Ecclesiastes of the book of Sirach. Chapter 25, verse 7. It says, there be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy.
Hey, that's about to happen. See the fall of our enemies, man. Lord, we stay in this thing to the end. Lord, that we do, and we see this motherfucker go down, man. All right, and then we gonna have you spend I did place get destroyed or whatever, and Lord bring us back to our place, our land. The Lord gave it to us. Everybody gonna be, all the people gonna be in good states, man. Nobody ain't gonna be trying to get on over nobody. Ain't gonna be nobody gonna be committing adultery. Man, everything gonna be good. Our people gonna be good, all right. But to see this motherfucker fall, hey, they my best. They can make one of the best feeling to know. We gotta watch our backs. Everything we do, he ain't gonna be fucking with us all the damn time. He gonna be in captivity. So what's better than that? To see our enemies fall, man. But that's all I had, brothers.
Come on, bro. It's a beautiful thing. Let's see if let's see anything on the. Oh yeah, the brother had that up there too. Yeah. So yeah, we'll end it with here, Revelation 12. All right. All right, you got it, bro. Hold on. Let me get the KJV. Yeah, start at 7. You got it, bro.
Because this Revelation chapter 12, verse 7, it says, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels. I said it right, Michael.
Yeah,
Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought his angels.
Yeah, fought and his angels.
And the dragon fought and his angels.
Yeah, so Michael's a representative of the heavenly host, which he's going to be with Yahushua. He's a high-ranking archangel. He's an angel of war. Okay, so Yahushua, he's bringing in his squad with him. And it says that he fought against the dragon. All right, now the dragon is what? The new Roman Empire of today. Mm-hmm. Okay, which America, NATO at the forefront, along with these EU nations. Okay, they make up this new Roman Empire. All right, and they're going to be at the forefront of the heathens that Yahushua is coming back to get busy with. Okay, go ahead.
It says, and prevailed not, neither was their place found anymore in heaven.
Yeah, so their place was found anymore in heaven. And then you have, the atmosphere, where the actual war going to take place, because it's not a war, in the spiritual realm where the Heavenly Father and the angels preside. No, it's talking about the war in the atmosphere. Okay, so their militaries are going to be eradicated out of the atmosphere, and Esau's, he's in his heaven and his rulership, because if you don't have no power, then you can't be in rulership. So Yahushua is coming, all right, to remove this man from his place. All right, and right now, what? He's the head of the heathen. He's the head of the nation. Well, Yahushua is coming to remove this man from his place, okay, with this war. All right, and it says it's not going to be found anymore, because this is it for him. No more renaissance or revival, man. Okay, you got it, bro.
Verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angel was cast out with him.
Yep, and his angel was cast out with him. It's a military, So it called him what? The old serpent. And that, the spirit that runs this empire was the same spirit, okay, that was in the serpent in the garden, which was a man. Okay, but he had what serpent-like tendencies. He was cruel. He was crafty. Patient. Okay, and it goes into that witchcraft. All right, called the devil, the deceiver. Okay, and Satan, which is the adversary, and this all embodies Esau. All right, he's that old serpent, the deceiver, the adversary. Okay, which deceived the whole world. All right, and he was cast out to the earth, man. And he defeated, man. You see, he's demoted. His military is going to be dust in the earth. Okay, and all those fighter jets are going to fighter jets and helicopters, whatever drones, whatever this nigga got in the air is coming to the earth as dust, man. According to 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. You see, and he's going to be demoted to what? Because it was prophesied that the serpent, shall eat the dust. That confusion, man. You see? So this devil's finna go, he's finna lose his war. He's finna go into captivity, man. He's gonna be the lowest amongst the heathens. You see? So that was all we had on our end. Our brother had anything else?
Hey, I'm good.
Yeah, so we okay, you good? Okay, so we'll end it there. And let's see. And then the Tyler one, you stay on too once we end, bro. Real quick, Bible shot.
All right, bro.
Come. So with that, we pray that you brothers, all right, and you sister was edified once again. I'm gonna give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Kakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.